Welcome back. What happens when a mommy chameleon falls in love with a daddy rooster? What do you get? You get a gecko. We're going to put this together today. Stick around. Today I bring you the Armattan Gecko. It's a very highly anticipated 3-inch quad from Armattan that takes its styling cues from the rooster with the base plate of a chameleon. So in this video, we're going to get this apart and see what it takes to put it together. I have some parts coming for it that'll be pretty interesting in this little model, and we'll see how it all works out. This frame came from Catalyst Machine Works. I love buying from Armattan. Their shipping rates are great, but their shipping speed is pretty slow. That's nothing on Armattan. That is the world of international shipping. I live in the US, and Catalyst Machine Works is the authorized retailer for Armattan. They had one in stock, and I ordered it on Saturday. It was supposed to be here on Friday, and it's Wednesday. That's how fast it got here. Big thumbs up to Catalyst Machine Works for getting it here that fast. And, well, I mean, United States Postal Service, they did their job too. But let's get this thing apart and see what we got. It's packaged just like any other Armattan product. Broken down into sections. We have the top set is the main base plate, a battery strap, and a very nicely done diagram of all the parts and how it goes together. Armattan has always been really good about this. Bill of materials and a diagram of how it goes together. Bottom half of the bag, as usual, is all our little bits. We have one bag that has our top plate and our foam battery pad. Pretty nice. We'll set that aside over there. And another baggie with all our little bits of hardware. We got foam feet. Put those aside. We've got our VTX mounting solution here, which is really cool. I like how Armattan's been going to this this almost like injection molded rubber. It's not 3D printed. It is a production part. Let's see. We've got a bunch of plastic hardware. I'm assuming this is for the flight controller and VTX stack up. Next pocket here is a bunch of longer metal screws and some press nuts. Next one here is a bunch of shorter screws. I don't know if that's motor screws or what, but we'll find out here in a second. And a little crossbar. I think that goes between the titanium front pieces, which is one of the coolest things about this frame, other than it's Armattan with lifetime warranty. It uses titanium, and they're advertising this is six-axis milled titanium front bumpers to protect your FPV camera. And I've got 2 roosters, and I have smashed the crap out of them. And I think they have like one person on record who's actually damaged one of these. That's pretty. That's a pretty good track record. And these things are, I mean, this is like jewelry grade done. It is so smooth. There's not a machine mark to be found. So well polished. I mean, this is impeccable. Got another little standoffy type thing. Well, 2 of those. Those I think are for the back end, and got these two little camera standoffs. Pretty cool. Everything should be there. Let's get to building. Now, something to note that Armattan has really improved on since their original chameleon design is their idea of making the build process way easier. Instead of using 2 or 3 different size hex drivers, all of this can be put together with one tool, the 2mm hex driver. I do highly recommend a good quality hex driver. A cheap hex driver will, it'll cost you in the long run because you'll end up stripping screws out. Like these guys, they're not bad. They're good travel screwdrivers, but the ends are just soft on them. I really don't recommend these. They're good to get you by if you need something, but a real high-end set of small hex drivers by Wera, these things they're great. I highly recommend these. I'll put a link to them in the description below. So, we'll go ahead and build up the canopy. A 3mm screw that goes through here with a camera standoff. All right, yeah, and our cross piece. Yeah, there we go. And rinse and repeat on the other side. And I'd probably recommend leaving this stuff a bit on the loose side. All right, there's our canopy. Now we're going to assemble the back standoffs and the rest of the canopy. So we're going to need some more 3mm by 6. Well, we'll just say 6mm long screws. Go through the back and through our standoffs here. Now, something to note on these standoffs is they actually have different length to them. You see, one end here has less of an overhang than the other. The one with the longer overhang goes on the bottom. So we'll go ahead and assemble that like so. And again, I just finger tight, you know. It's not the time to wrench everything down yet. There we go. And we'll assemble the front end to the front of the frame. And it looks like you go through like so, and then like so. Ah, I see. This kind of presses in here like so. Oh, that is most excellent. There we go. Front half, back half. Almost there. And now we have our FC stack, which is going to use these 16mm long screws. And the FC on this particular model is intended to go in the back. I don't have the flight controller yet. It's in yon mail. So we'll just go ahead and put the screws in here so I don't lose them. For these screws, you're going to use a 8mm socket, or for these nuts, anyways. We'll just go ahead and put these on here. This model looks like it's got quite a bit of room to work. If you've ever built any of the Armattan chameleons or roosters or chameleon TIs, they're a tight build. You really got to pick and choose your components wisely. If you want like a 3-high stack, it's tough. It always requires custom making spacers and ways to mount the components. There is the mounts for the FC stack. Now, to put the top plate on, let's see, this looks a little bit trickier. So we're going to put our VTX antenna mount on here first, like that. Now that's where the sunk nuts come in. So the sunk nuts, or the press nuts, whatever you want to call them, they go into this rubber part here. And we're going to use another 6mm screw from this pile over here. And we'll just lightly tighten those down. In the instructions, there's a note to break the edge of the carbon fiber with a file, which is that's a very excellent idea. Carbon fiber is sharp, especially if you have a wire that's rubbing on it, and these things vibrate like crazy. At very high frequencies, it'll end up chewing into your into your external or your grounding braid on your VTX antenna, and then your grounding braid will end up touching the frame, and it could introduce some nasty noise into your video. So we'll go ahead and tighten them down, and if you could do it, I'd recommend putting some heat shrink over your VTX antenna before you install it into there. All right, so that's that. Put this on like so. Well, that fits nice and tight back there. And we're gonna use some 3mm by 4mm screws. And we can go ahead and snug everything up now. Now that the top plate is mounted to all the standoffs in the cage, everything should be kind of self-aligning. Go ahead and tighten everything down. There we go. And there's some other smaller hardware here, I think, for, probably your camera mounts, for mounting your camera to your side plates here. And there's quite a bit of extra 3mm plastic nuts for your FC and ESC stack. And I'm going to hold off on putting the little dog bone feet on, because I find that they can get in the way when you start putting motors in. But I'll wait till I get the motors mounted up, then I'll go ahead and slap those guys on there. So you should have a little bit of hardware left over when you're done building this up. But look at that. That is going to be an awesome little quad. Let's get some measurements on this. So the bottom plate is exactly 3mm. Top plate 2mm. It's like 19 and some change, but there's quite a bit of flex to these, so you can get your normal micro-size camera in here, or sorry, mini-size camera. For this, I plan on putting the Runcam Split Mini V2 in it. I've got some HGLRC, I think 1407 motors, the BL Heli 32 ESC, and the Helio Spring 20x20. I've never used Butterflight, and I've never used a Helio product. Should be pretty interesting. Trying to go a little bit different on this. And then the VTX, I'll probably just slap I don't know, whatever I can find laying around. I've got unifies and tramps and whatnot. But anyways, so this completes the rough assembly of the Gecko. Pretty nice looking little quad. All right, so that's it. Pretty cool looking little quad. Stick around, follow along as we build this up. Like, comment down in the description below if you have any questions, or if you want to see certain things on my channel, let me know. I've recently hit the big old 1,000 mark, and I have to thank all of you for that. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and watching my videos. It means the world to me. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll catch you next time.